Hi everyone, how are you? Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you're all well. I hope that you're doing something special. And like I say, I asked you not to do too much, but just to do something with your fingernails for Valentine's Day. That's a real easy one. You can put a pretty pink, a pretty red. You can get creative and do all kinds of stuff. As I know you guys a little better now, I'm comfortable to admit that the second MLM I was a dismal failure at was Color Street. And so I did it because I love the product. And I, okay, so because I'm so allergic to all things latex, so latex includes in it a lot of adhesive. So gel, acrylic, all of those things I was really allergic to. I tried to do gels. I touched my face while I was doing it. And so within a few hours, I again looked like Phantom of the Opera. I had one side of my face all the way swollen out from where I touched it, and my hands were just huge, bloody. It was horrible. I couldn't do gel nails. Most nail polishes caused issues for me. I mean, your nails are porous. They're skin. They're thicker skin. They go in and they can irritate. And so a couple of companies like Clinique made a really pretty red nail polish that was for allergy sufferers. Can't remember what it was called, whatever. It was great, but of course it only lasted like a year because they didn't promote it enough, and so it didn't sell enough. They look at it as, well, no one's buying it. Well, you didn't really promote it because there's a lot of us out there with weird allergies that would love something that would work, and that worked, right? So, um, the Color Street product worked for me. Essentially, it's stickers. It's you're putting on stickers that if you do it right, and it takes a couple of tries to get it right, but when you do it right, literally they'll stay on until you take them back off with nail polish remover. Jamberry started that whole concept, but Jamberry had beautiful prints. They co-licensed with Disney. I mean, the amazing prints, but with theirs, there's a lot of steps. You have to cut them, use the heat tool, etc., etc. I bought the set just a couple months ago because I was curious and I see so many cute Jamberry sets. So I bought it all and I still can't figure out how to do the Jamberry. So I started selling Color Street almost 3 years ago. Now, the second I did it, and everything was all signed, sealed, and delivered, then I didn't even understand what an upline was. Um, the bitch starts telling me, okay, so we're gonna do a party, and I'm like, okay, whose house? Like, what are we gonna do here? Like, I don't know, my house, your house. How does this part of this work? No, it's gonna be on Facebook. It's and you write it on your Facebook that you're doing this, and then you let everybody into your private group. So they're going to accept your invite, and then you have them join your private group. And I'm like, look, I have 5 different worlds at any given time. I don't want this world to collide with that world. I don't want everybody to know that I'm pimping shit. It's like I don't want people knowing that I'm selling this, because if one world gets confused with the other world, and this is before I was even doing this, right? I even had a YouTube channel. I was like, look, when you sell something, you're saying who you are, and I don't necessarily want everybody to know who I am, where I'm from. It's just, I mean, I've just never been that trustworthy. But oh no, with the MLM, you just have to let it all fall out. You just have to put everything out there. Anything that you ever wanted to keep private and secret about your life or anything, it is done. And they expect you to expect that of your friends too. And I was really uncomfortable. I was like, I really, really was. I was like, well, I don't feel comfortable putting this on my main Facebook, And she's like, you know what, I'll do it. And so she puts this thing on my Facebook, and a couple of people, were like, what's that? Because it was relatively new at the time. And it was awkward, very awkward. And that was my first little blip into it. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, this will be easy to sell. I can do this. I can put this on my Facebook. Oh, no, 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 no. You can't sell on Facebook. You just had people join your VIP group. You have to go and find people to join your VIP group, but you can't advertise it on Facebook. But I'm like, but you just did. No, you can't advertise on social media. Color Street has big rules about that. I'm like, well, what? How do you think I just? No. Okay, well, I'll put it on the garage sale sites and I'll do. No. Well, but that's how I found you. No. That's against terms. Do you want me to turn you in? Like, turn me in? What the Who are you? And I'm like, well, then I can sell where I saw. No, that's against the terms. And like, but that's where I saw you. No. And it was just that. It was hypocrisy at my upline to the nth degree. So she had everything pretty much monopolized in my small township, and was not going to share that with me. She was breaking the rules, and she didn't care. And she had her niece, her neighbor, all of this in with her and whatnot. So I really had a hard time with it. And I really couldn't sell. And that's where then I decided, since I'm, selling, can't sell anywhere, I'll start going places to go and sell. And I started driving and driving and driving all over and going and setting everything up and going and making sure that I had every single guideline right, because you can't have a drawing on your table. Well, you see every other MLM or having drawings and stuff. Oh, no, you can't, Color Street. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Well, then I'll put it on eBay. You can't sell on eBay, but everybody else is selling on eBay. I'll sell this one with a torn package and put it up. Yeah, and you know what? Color Street's corporate came after my ass and told me that I was about to lose my whole entire business, blah, 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 forever doing that. And I'm like, but you have all of these people up here selling hundreds and hundreds of sets, and I can't sell one. And they're like, well, feel free to turn them in. Well, obviously they were operating under somebody else's, their baby's social security number, whatever. But the system was so rigged that you could not be successful following the rules. The long and the short story of that, I love the product so much that for me, it was something I was not allergic to. And I could be honest about why I liked it. And then once I started going and I couldn't sell anything, I decided to start selling Tupperware as well. So I would go and I would sell both brands. Oh, then I find out that you're not allowed to sell more than one brand at one place according to Color Street. So then it's like, okay, I had to have my tables this far apart and whatnot to go over and act like a totally different person, take off this hat and that, put on my Tupperware apron to go over there. I mean, come on. It's just they make it really, really difficult to be honest and sell. So, for the purposes of understanding something very simplistic, this is where I would like to intro how I can best explain later on in what I'm going to talk about, is that for Color Street, I had to sell a minimum of $300, and that's after the discount and whatnot. And the nails sell for, it's like you buy 3, get 1 free. That comes to like $40. So after commission, you get 25% commission on everything you sell. So you make about $30 every 4 sets that are sold on your website. Okay, you have to hit 300. So you need to sell how many orders? You need to have some. You need to sell 10 orders, basically. You need to have 10 people order 4 sets of nails. And you know what? You'll get the one who's going to order 8 and the one who's going to do this, and that's great. But then they last so long, they don't order again for another year. And then they're like, why don't I just sell because of the discount? And that's what happened, is it also became oversaturated. And ultimately, I was literally selling to keep the discount for myself. Now, what that would become problematic in the end, because when I had not sold enough for that 3-month period, I would have to say, okay, I am going to buy my vendor stock to go and sell in person. So I will order $300 worth of stock to go and do this. And I let myself do that 2 times, I believe, until where it just wasn't, and then I got out. Um, the people above me then, so I had no downline because I'm not a good MLMer. I'm just not. I had no downline. So I was just a part of somebody else's downline, and it's like a triangle. So let's say that, I'm one of 3. So when that bitch got me, she has her 3, which pushes her up 1, but then she had her niece, daughter, and candlestick maker, which makes, another 3. So then that boosted her up to district manager, all this. But then every single one of her downlines has to hit that $300 every 6 months. If they don't, then they lose their position as district manager, etc., etc. So what the upline does is they will then buy stock from the ones that need it to hit 300. They are not allowed to do that. That is against term of services, but that is what is done. So they'll go to, Sylvia and see that, okay, she just needs 2 more sales to hit that. They'll bug her and be like, well, why don't you just buy enough? Well, why don't you just buy enough for you to get some? Well, don't you need some? Don't you need some for gifts? Aren't you thinking ahead for Christmas? Well, aren't you going to go and sell some? And then, Sylvia is going to be to the point where, oh, yeah, or else she's going to be like, you know what? No, I'm not. And then it'll be like, okay, the last day before the last of the month. And then boom, what do you know? Sylvia will get this last minute charge, and it'll be up to her downline or her upline. And then her upline will do that, as a domino effect to every single person. Okay. So that she's hitting every single person to hit that 300. Okay.